Hello everyone, welcome to 2 on 3D. So this is I think an AI generated 3D character that I was supposed to actually make into a puppet, and I successfully did that. So um okay, this video is specially made for Brittany, who ordered this character. So I'm just going to give a quick review and maybe explain what you should know about this character. So all you need to know is you go to the link, you get the .puppet file, you download that .puppet file, you drag it to your project panel. I'm sure you're used to this already. So after dragging it to this point, that's the project panel, you drag it from there to your timeline, or you double click it and it will create a new scene for you. So you have this, and I added cameras just so that I can make a close-up version of this, just so that you'll be able to see more more clearly. So first thing you notice is, okay, this character actually is not something you notice actually, but the character comes with draggable. So I added a draggable here just so that you can control her body movement, and around her waist also there is a draggable there, so you could also manipulate that. I wanted to add some, maybe one or two for her knees, but I decided against that because it was giving me some weird issues like that I did not want to fix, because then I'll have to apply work behavior to it. So okay, for her eyes, there are some triggers that I configured to triggers configured to keys. So you could actually just use okay, just to make the things easier, select your character, come to controls here, and then generate controls. When you generate, you have 35 triggers here. So now you have access to all her facial triggers and her arm triggers. So let's start with the facial triggers. And I'm not going to be using this because most of the keys already here have been configured to keys on your keyboard. So you could actually just use keys on your keyboard and control this character. So press 1 and you get her face. Okay, let me use this camera just so that we can zoom in. Let's use camera 1. Okay, so camera 1, nice. So now we have her closer. So use 1 and you get this angry brow. You get her to look angry. So you could actually use your draggable to manipulate her iris, so you can see I'm moving that around. Use 2 to get this kind of raised eyebrow. So you could actually do this live and the character will actually be moving live, but we're not there yet. So you press 2 and you get something like this, a sad face. And 3, 4, and because you cannot see the other eyebrow, it's a bit difficult to actually get her to show that inquisitive kind of one eyebrow raised and the other one down. So that's what she's doing right here, but it's not something that is very obvious because of her hair. So just ignore that. Well, so wider eyes, if you want her to have wider eyes, you press 7 and you have wider eyes. You have slightly closed eyes, 8, 9, and closed eyes, 9. And if you want her to blink, press 0 and you see that whole cycle trigger while she's blinking, and that's fine. And I noticed that her mouth is not moving. So select this and maybe activate this record, kind of this thing, so that you have her mouth moving. So you can see that the visms are working very fine. So all her mouth shapes are there, the a, e, or u, and the f, and then the l, and all those shapes are there. So now to the arms. Aside from the special triggers, the special arm triggers you told me to add, I actually added some other special ones, that some that I think actually you would like. So this is just something that I was walking around, but just ignore this. This is Q. I'm pressing Q and A together. So you press Q, you control this arm, and it's the same thing if you press W, you control just one arm. That's the arm A. You're controlling the arm A with the top keys. That's your Q, W, E, R, T, your QWERTY keys at the top there, and then A, S, D, F, G will control the arm B, that is this arm. So right now I'm using W to get her to put her hands on her waist. So you could actually just move her along like this and move her like this, and you could have something very, very cool like this. And you could also add this other arm and she looks pissed. Kind of maybe add angry like this, and say you get something like this. So okay, so now I'm using D to control this arm to get her to put her arm like me, that kind of trigger. So me also for this arm, also R R will get this, and then R will get the for the flipped version. That's for this other arm, for the arm B, and T will get that. G will get this. So Y, you told me to add this. That is the wave. So if you want her to wave with this arm, you press Y, and it will continue to her arm A will be waving. So you could also press H, just the button below it, and you could also get the other arm to wave. And you could combine both of them, and it will be like she's like waving at an airplane, like the plane should like stop, or kind of like that. So okay, there's a trigger you told me to add. That was if you wanted her to be playing a keyboard. So to activate the keyboard you see is not here right now. So you have to use a key, that's M, or you can come here and just come down here and you see it here. So just press M and you have your keyboard. So now you could press, oh no, that's just the point. That's U and J that I pressed right there. So I and K rather. I and K will get her to play the guitar, the keyboard rather. And you could be moving her around like this while she's doing that, and just make sure her eyes are actually looking at the keyboard, and then you just keep moving that around like that, and it looks like she's playing the keyboard. And alternatively, I actually made this more easy. Like I just made it a whole cycle, like a whole thing. So I'm coming, let me just activate that. So the keyboard is here, and you see that she's down to default, and maybe her eyes are up there like this. So you could press and hold Z. If you press and hold Z, she would be playing the guitar and moving around. So you do not have to do all this, manipulate this by yourself. So if I just press and hold Z, you see she's doing that, and you see her body moving. You have to press and hold it. You see she's moving and she's playing it. So I've already pre-made this whole trigger for you, so you do not have to worry about that. And additionally, you could also be controlling her eyebrow while she's also playing. So hold down Z, press 5, and you get this. Press 2, 1, and you get this, like this, just stuff like that. And that's very, very cool. So let's get rid of this. So press M again, and you get rid of the keyboard. So this is another trigger you told me to add. If you remember, you sent me a video. So this is I believe this is that whole chow or something like that. So I added that for this arm. I also added it for the second arm, even though it's not clear because of her hair right here, but very, very cool. So she's doing it for both arms. So if you press O, should do it for this arm. If you press L, should do it for the other arm. That's 8 basically. M for the keyboard, and if you want her to play the keyboard, then you boom 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 like that, you control it. So everything is configured to keys, so you can actually just use your keys while controlling this the puppet, or you could come here and control it. And I believe that's basically for this puppet. I could easily add, I'm hoping that I'll actually make a video of how I actually made this puppet. And for our arms right there, you see this arm movement is not something that one can easily draw. So what I ended up doing was I used Blender. That's a 3D software. I created the arm, and then I actually posed it and then tried to match the color with her skin color, and that was how I was able to get this. But I'm going to actually make a separate video for that, hopefully. So that's basically it. Thank you for watching. Please give us a like, give us a sub. It will help us to reach more people, and it will also help us to reach you more content like this in the future. Thank you, and bye for now.